Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this webinar, launching and presenting Breakthrough Bio in collaboration with Mass Challenge, new program for us for the Israel Innovation Authority. Just to go overview the schedule, this will be today's schedule, starting with Shlomi Kaufman, our VP of International Division, who will say a few words. Then we will go over the program itself in an overview, the target audience for the program. Mass Challenge will also have approximately 15 minutes to present the organization, the program, and go over the details of the actual program. We'll go over the process of submitting the application and reviewing the application, some guidance, comments, and then we'll finish with approximately 10 minutes of Q&A. So you're welcome to write questions during the webinar, and we'll present the question in the Q&A session. So we'll start with Shlomi Kaufman, our VP of International Division. Shlomi, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Danielle. And thank you all for taking the time to be with us today this afternoon and to learn firsthand about really an exciting and tremendously exciting new program that is run by the Israel Innovation Authority together with Mass Challenge. I want to start with expressing our gratitude to our partners in Mass Challenge, but also gratitude to all our partners here within the Israel Innovation Authority, in the growth division and other parts of the organization that really worked so diligently and so hard for the past, I would say, for many months, in order to present and build this unique program, which creates a lot of amazing opportunities for the Israeli startups and for Israeli companies within the Boston area and beyond. Special thanks to Danielle and to Tommy and Inbal for leading this effort, and really amazing work. This program, as I mentioned, is a very unique one and the new one that we are presenting to the Israeli ecosystem. But at the same time, I also want to mention the various programs that the Israel Innovation Authority runs in the United States, in Europe, and across Asia through our binational funds with India, Korea, and Singapore. A lot of opportunities for across the US with investors and with our partners. A lot of opportunities within Horizon Europe program, which we also run out of the Israel Innovation Authority, that our team is ready to help. And as I mentioned earlier, our programs in Asia, etc. So with no further ado, and with a lot of really deep gratitude to all our partners, I want to thank you for taking the time, and I wish you good luck. And I hope to see many Israeli companies being part of this program, exploring all the opportunities that it's presenting to the ecosystem. And thank you also to our partners again in Boston. So with that, back to you, Danielle, and good luck. Enjoy the webinar. Ask as many questions as you want and need. Thank you.
Thank you, Shlomi. Next, I want to welcome Tamir Wachevsky, Head of Americas and Europe International Division, Israel Innovation Authority. Please, Tammy.
Hi, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. We are very excited to introduce the new International Technology Pilot Accelerator Program. As already said, this is a new initiative that is a result of a thorough research that we have conducted over the past year to better align our work, our support programs to address the needs of Israeli startups as they scale globally. It is well known that for most Israeli startups, success depends on their ability to access and grow in international markets. But at the same time, what we have realized is that while Israeli innovation ecosystem is highly dense, collaborative, and supportive, startup navigates the journey to the global market mainly on their own. And in this stage, founders face numerous challenges. They need to access customers, build strategic partnership, validate the technology in target markets, securing meaningful pilot opportunities. And these challenges create what we commonly known as or call the valley of death between technological innovation and commercial success. So this is why basically we put in place this program. Danielle, maybe you want to show some slides. I don't see them. I don't know if the audience does. Next one, please. Next slide, please, Danielle. So the International Technology Pilot Accelerator is basically a strategic gateway to international market for Israeli technology companies. It is not another R&D grant program. Rather, it is more a value creation initiative designed to help startup build their capabilities, connection, and strategic partnerships needed to succeed when approaching international markets. We believe we create a unique offer here, a hands-on program that works side by side with founders to deliver tailored support and drive tangible business outcomes in form of investments, pilot partnership, and acceleration of technological time to market. So today we are, next slide, you can go next slide. Today we are proud to introduce our first partnership with Must Challenge, introducing our first program in the US market for medical device and biopharma sector. Must Challenge, I will say briefly, but you will meet the team shortly after me, is the largest not-profit accelerator with headquarters in Boston, but also boots on the ground and expertise and network across the main health tech hub in the US. Almost 40%, I think, of their activities to date are focusing health tech innovation and the wide access to corporates, health provider, insurance, and payers. And we are very confident and happy for this partnership. So next slide, Breakthrough Bio will be open to a selected group of 10 Israeli startups. It will provide mentorship, personalized support, access to key stakeholders, and peer learning opportunities between the companies and startups in the cohort. We are looking to build an exceptional cohort of pioneering startups that will help shape not only their own growth journey, but also the leadership of the entire Israel health tech sector going global. So Inbal, our health tech lead, will come after me and will say maybe a few additional words on which is the target audience, which companies we are heading to include in the program. So good luck to everybody.
Thank you, Tammy. Can you hear me? All right. So, hi everyone, I'm Inbal, head of health tech at the Israeli Innovation Authority. I lead all the authority activity and strategy across the health tech sectors, including biotech, medical device. And I'm thrilled to officially introduce this program, the Breakthrough Bio program, together with Must Challenge. So this is a boutique, very exclusive program for 10 selected biotech and medtech companies. So which companies are we looking for? We're looking for a biotech companies that are either post-seed to post-A companies that have raised in this sector at least $5 million since inception. And as for meta companies, we're looking for post-A companies, meaning before Series B, companies that have raised at least $14 million since inception. Maybe one additional point that I would like to emphasize in order to ensure that we are supporting active, growing companies, your last financial round must have been completed within the last 5 years. Next slide, please. Thank you. So what would you actually gain from this program? In terms of strategic partnerships, so we are talking about collaboration with leading pharma companies, meta cooperative payers, providers. It can be whether through pilots, through proof of concept experiment, through co-development or licensing deal. In terms of fundraising readiness, so the program will provide you access to potential investors, direct introduction to relevant US and also global investors, and also we'll be working with you specifically on the readiness for your next round, namely through deck refinements, all the due diligence process, deal strategy, etc. You will also gain from the program exposure to and also engage with the US health tech ecosystem. You will be meeting with stakeholders, relevant stakeholders, participating in leading conference, LSI for MedTech, and also Bio US conference for biotech. And also during the 6-month program, the mentors will be working with you on a clear roadmap regarding regulatory and also reimbursement strategy. So with that, I think that we would like to encourage all eligible company to apply, and really looking forward to partnering with you and your journey. That's it. Thank you, and I'm be more than happy to take questions at the end or through the chat.
Thank you, Inbal. So we will go over now to our partners at Mass Challenge. John Valentine, Senior Director for Mass Challenge, will let you share now your presentation.
Fantastic, fantastic. And before I do, we are joined here today by Kate Brummie, who's the CEO of Mass Challenge and has been for the last number of years, to share her thoughts and her gratitude for the collaboration today.
Thank you so much. As John mentioned, I'm Kate Brummie. I'm the CEO of Mass Challenge. I want to express our deep excitement, commitment, and gratitude to the Israel Innovation Authority for the opportunity to be part of this important and unique program that represents certainly your deep research and what we know from our longtime work working with entrepreneurs. We are super committed to making this highly impactful for the select number of entrepreneurs which are invited into this program. John will share more, but we have over 15 years of history building non-equity accelerator programs that are top-rated globally, working hand in hand with entrepreneurs to achieve those next critical milestones, including in biotech and through our Mass Challenge Israel program, also with Israeli founders ready to scale internationally. We're deeply committed to ensuring that this program helps certainly cross that valley of death into international markets, into commercial collaborations that really move the needle. And so thank you all for joining this webinar to learn more about this unique program. And I'll turn it over to John to share more details from the Mass Challenge perspective.
Thank you very much, Kate. And I'm going to share. All right. Can I get a yes that this works out for everyone? Because I can't see everyone. Hold on.
Yeah, we can see it
yes?
all.
Perfect. Awesome. So today, thank you so much for introducing us. Thank you, Kate, for your comments. My name is John Valentine. I'm the Senior Director of Industry Alliances here at Mass Challenge, joined by Kate, as well as our Senior Director of Programs for Life Sciences, Lauren Adegoke, who are part of the core team that is going to be executing on this incredibly exciting project. A couple words about Mass Challenge. Many of you in Israel may know of Mass Challenge. We've had a long history of our office in Israel supporting startups from many different sectors, including life sciences and medtech. We've got a 17-year history at Mass Challenge, supporting over 5,000 startups through their journey from the earliest stages all the way through growth and scaling. We have never taken any equity in the startups ever, which does a few interesting and unique things. It allows us to gather the very best of the best startups that are taking on the most challenging initiatives and the most challenging and pressing issues in the world through incredibly difficult and regulated spaces in order to make a difference. And the beauty about the Breakthrough Bio program that we're partnered on here with the Innovation Authority is that this checks off every single one of those boxes. These are spaces that matter deeply. The longevity and human health of Earth is shockingly important, and we want to do everything possible in Mass Challenge's wheelhouse in order to support startups, push the envelope, and make big breakthroughs. We've supported over 1,300 startups in healthcare and life sciences over those 17 years. They've raised over $9.2 billion in capital, and we've seen over 8 unicorns in companies that have truly broken out in that way, from Ginkgo Bioworks, Strand Therapeutics, and many others in the medtech and life sciences space. And so we built Breakthrough Bio to do a few things. First, we wanted to make sure that the startups in the program weren't just going on an innovation tour, weren't just visiting, but were embedded in many different ways within the US innovation ecosystem, such that you're able to build a level of comfort with talent, with investors, with partners, and with potential clients, such that they build a level of comfort in order to want to engage, both from an educational perspective and an engagement perspective. And what this program over 6 months does is compress your US market entry by using Mass Challenge as a bridge and a channel to engage with the stakeholders in the US market that you've been looking to do for a meaningful amount of time in a thoughtful, structured, engaging way, is what Mass Challenge aims to provide to the 10 startups that get through this program. As you're going to see a little bit further in this presentation, we have built a strong ecosystem of large pharmas, medical device corporations, mentors and experts, as well as ecosystem leads and talent who are here to support your work. Many come to bat and engage in the program like this because they're looking to give back to the next generation of entrepreneurs, and others are looking to engage in commerce, to invest in the next breakthrough companies, to partner and do strategic relationships, to take their products to the next level, and to engage in very thoughtful ways. Next, we're looking to get you in front of decision makers. Because of the relationships we've built, and because of the elite nature of this program and how curated and small it is in a way, 10 startups, we have the ability to be personalized and thoughtful and make sure that the connections that we make for you in market are those that are going to truly benefit you. Third, we're going to be activating the startups at the flagship conferences for medical device and biotechnology in the United States. So LSI USA in San Diego or Dana Point, and Bio International, which is going to be in 2027 in Philadelphia, to make sure that you're prepared for those rooms. And when you do walk into those conversations, you have incredibly impactful results. And finally, when you exit the program within 6 months, you'll be part of the Mass Challenge alumni community for the entire journey with your startup, but you're also leaving with a durable network of mentors, corporates, and community that is going to be supporting and working with you long after the finale. And so how does Mass Challenge work thoughtfully alongside your business? First, we want to understand your goals. It's incredibly important for us to be able to lean in and get an understanding of your business, where it stands today. What does the team look like? What is the funding situation? Where is your molecule in the process of trials and development? Where is your medical device in regulatory, in product development, in launch, in pilot and testing? The more that we can understand about your business and where you're at across all of those facets, the better we're going to be able to curate this program for you, so you're being introduced to impact ecosystem members, and we're providing you the mentorship across our expert ecosystem to fill in the gaps that you have today and take you to the next level. And then finally, the goal here is to open the right doors, to make sure that this is a very curated experience. You feel like you're cared for, listened to, and supported in all the best ways, not simply in the immersive weeks that you're going to spend in the ecosystems of Boston, San Diego, and Philadelphia, but across the entire 6-month program itself. So a little preview into some of the relationships that we are going to be bringing to bear across the 6-month program, both when you have the ecosystem immersions in January, March, and June, but also across the length of the program. The value in bringing in a small group of elite startups from Israel and bringing them into virtually and in person into our ecosystem is that density and quality is going to bring our ecosystem out to support in some incredibly strong and meaningful ways. Mass Challenge has a long history of partnering with pharmaceutical and biotech companies. We've got great relationships with Biogen. We have the global lead for medical devices at Biogen in our mentor pool, with Eli Lilly, who's a partner of ours today, who we work with on a number of facets across life sciences, scouting, and digital health as well. Pfizer, Sanofi, who we have a strong relationship and partnership with today. Takeda, who's got an incredibly large and growing office in the Kendall Square area that we have strong relationships with, and Vertex, whose founder, Josh Boger, was on the founding board of Mass Challenge and who continues to be a strong partner today. Some of the medical devices organizations that we've got strong relationships, as you can see, Abbott, Hologic, Intuitive, Medtronic, and GE Healthcare. Within the health systems and provider ecosystem, Boston is absolutely world-class, and we've built strong relationships with all of the major players in this ecosystem, but also those, many of those across the country. We have connectivity into Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic. We've got relationships in Jefferson Health and Penn Medicine in Philadelphia, where we're going to be going, and many other ecosystems across the country. And then finally, there's going to be lots of conversations that you're going to want to have with distribution, with bioprocessing, with payers, with tools, and we've got strong relationships across those ecosystems. You're going to see leaders within these organizations be brought to bear in a number of different ways across the program, both from judging and evaluation to mentorship and advice and guidance to actual visits within the ecosystem and strategic conversations in the four walls of these organizations. We're very, very excited to bring these organizations and many others that you don't see on the screen to bear for the startups that get into the program. And what you'll also find is that we are going to be doing bespoke outreach as well to organizations that may not exist on this list or may be second-tier connections for us, but might be really important for the startups entering the program. What are we driving for? So first we have a number of goals that we're going to be working on with you. One, we want to compress that time to the US market. One thing that startups in the post-seed and Series A stage of life sciences don't have is time. And every day that goes by when you're not having conversations with the right investor, the right potential team member that you might want to recruit, or the right corporation that you need to prime for an eventual pilot or strategic partnership, is time that is lost. And so the more that we can do to drive high value for each of the moments that you engage with the program is time well spent. Second, we're going to be looking to help you support the strengthening of your R&D capabilities, to build your data set and evidence to get to the next level, both from a trials perspective, regulatory perspective, and partnership perspective. And how do we, through education, curriculum, and mentorship, support your US readiness, allow you to walk into investor meetings and partner meetings fluent in how the US ecosystem works, and well-positioned with your materials to maximize the potential outcome from those conversations. And then finally, as we'll share, we want to drive measurable outcomes. The goal here is not necessarily exposure and access, but we're really looking to make sure the quality of that is high so that we can drive real, measurable outcomes. And how do we measure success? A number of different ways, but let's really lean into the three that matter the most for you as the startup. The first is financing. As Tammy mentioned, sort of the chasm of death, or however you want to call it, is a real thing, particularly for startups in medical device as well as life sciences. We want to help you be on the path to raising your next round of funding within 12 months of the finale. How do we introduce you to the right corporations and the right partners in the right way, such that you're able to secure a large enterprise or pharma collaboration, a full rollout, or a strategic collaboration with qualified partners that have been directly facilitated through the program in the 12 months after the program ends? And then finally, every startup that enters the program is going to be beginning at a different stage, a different level of regulatory clearance or progression, a different level of evidence, and a different level of funding. How do we get you to the next stage appropriate milestone that matters for you so that you can get to market in a thoughtful way? In the United States in particular, how do Mass Challenge experts evaluate your application? So our ecosystem of experts, largely those who have been there, done that before, and we have about 1,000 experts, some of whom are handpicked for each program that we run. And so we'll be thoughtful to run a very rigorous mentorship, call down, and selection for this program. And what are they going to be looking for? First, they're looking to determine whether or not your asset or product, your team, and the stage at which you're in has developed for you a strong foundation for research and development growth and cross-border expansion. Are you, as a startup in an organization, in a place where you can benefit the most from US engagement, or are you still 6 months, a year, or 2 years away from truly being able to take advantage of the connections and the engagement that we're going to be working on together across this program? Also, if your startup is already in the United States with a meaningful amount of staff that have already scaled in meaningful ways commercially, that is also a sort of criteria as well. We want to make sure that the startups are not so advanced that they wouldn't be able to get true value in the connections that they would need to make in the United States have largely already been made. We want to find that sweet spot of startup application that can truly benefit from this moment, from January through June of 2027, and is well prepared to make the most out of it. Have you determined your purpose and your problem definition? Is the technical merit for your asset, your product, your molecule there? Have you found financing and traction from investors that matter to propel, that have de-risked your startup and have propelled you further? And once you have received that funding, have you used it to develop a strong evidence base and advanced development stage? Have you already started to make feelers into the US ecosystem to test what potential engagement and entry might look like? And how strong is the team? What are their backgrounds? How long have they been working together? And how do their specialties match the differentiation that you're trying to bring to market? And what are the expectations for startups, right? We believe that this is a two-way street. These are not startups in the earliest stages that truly need to be handheld across the line for every particular action. The duration of this program is long. It's longer than you might have seen other accelerator programs. And that is not necessarily because there's going to be content every single day, every single week. In fact, the length here is such that you can use us as a resource as you walk down the pathways in the United States with large corporations, investors, partners, and research centers. There's going to be a pre-kickoff readiness engagement process where the Mass Challenge team really gets an understanding for who you are, what you do, and what you're looking for. And then across the 6 months, there's both in-person and virtual engagement. As I shared before, there's a requirement to attend those 3 in-person trips. Because there are so few slots for this program, well, so few, 10, a meaningful number, but they're going to be highly coveted. We want to ensure and get your validation that you're going to be coming to the United States for those 3 trips in order to get as much value as you can possibly squeeze out of those days. Mass Challenge also has an office in the Boston Seaport. And so all startups that get into the program are available and welcome to reside there with their team for as long as they'd like across the 6 months of the program. So we have desks for you available should you want to avail of them at any point in the program that you'd like to either be resident in Boston or just visit and use our space as hot desks. And then finally, full participation. Regular mentor sessions are a must. Leaning into milestone deliverables, which often include collateral development, and then reporting your progress with our team with consistency such that we can adapt and evolve how we're supporting you to make sure that we're doing it in the way that you expect and hope from. One thing to note is the two-way street element is real. The costs for the 3 trips will be borne by the startup themselves. In order to show both commitment and dedication to the program as well. So Mass Challenge is going to be operating this program soup to nuts. We're going to be supporting you on the ground and helping you curate those 3 US trips, but you will be covering the cost for those 3 US trips. The journey is not a short journey, but it is one where we're going to be supporting you in thoughtful different ways across the curriculum. We've built out a pretty thoughtful curriculum that is reaching you where you are and making sure that you have the data, the evidence, the presentation, the preparedness in order to attack the market in the ways that are most ideal, such that most of the ecosystem members will feel like you are sort of in market today and will be a bigger presence tomorrow. So the kickoff for the Boston ecosystem visit is January 11th at the top of 2027. There's going to be moments where you'll be meeting your mentors and advisors that you have been matched with from the pre-kickoff to the launch, and you'll spend time engaging with them. We are going to be visiting many different pharmaceutical companies, medical device companies, and ecosystem players across that week, both for larger sessions where you're going to be meeting a larger group of people, but also for some of those closed door sessions with the stakeholders that matter the most. Then we're going to be sliding back into a virtual phase where the mentorship will continue virtually. There will be masterclass sessions that the startups can attend to tweak their knowledge of the US market and their readiness, but also preparing for that California sprint for when the medical device companies go to LSI USA and the biotech companies spend time in the San Diego ecosystem, which is one of the top 3 pharma ecosystems in the United States. Building momentum off of that off of that conference and ecosystem visit, we're converting those conversations into pathway to partnership and investment. And then it culminates in Philadelphia at the finale with a graduation, a showcase, an ecosystem event, but also for the pharma companies, the bio conference, which they will spend meaningful engagement in, that we will have prepared for and curated in phase 5. How to be compelling, right? Last pieces here. Every application that is submitted is going to be evaluated for eligibility by the Israel Innovation Authority, and the Mass Challenge expert ecosystem will provide written applications, and between 3 and 5 full individual evaluations of your application will occur. You will receive feedback from each one of those evaluators. And what are we looking for? We're looking for really sharp, strong, clear, concise answers. The long form application is intentionally limited in nature such that you are forced to be clear in your answers. And the video, the live pitch, the live in-person, virtual pitch that is going to be happening as round 2 of the evaluation is meant to do other things. Suss out clarity under time pressure, provide far more depth into the company, the goals, and the ambitions beyond the prepared narrative that is shared. The experts are going to challenge you as startup founders and executives. Are you able to be coached on the fly? And are you able to perform under pressure? And finally, are the milestones that you've put together and extrapolate on, are they clear? Are they rational and real? And are they aggressive enough to potentially invite investors to feel compelled to invest in your next stages? So the first application, the first step is to submit your written application. It will be evaluated for eligibility, and then it will be evaluated across a number of metrics by the Mass Challenge expert ecosystem. And every single startup that applies will also receive a full opportunity to live pitch with Mass Challenge evaluators. It will be 20 minutes engagement per startup with a recommended set of 10 minutes per pitch and 10 minutes for Q&A. So hopefully that gave everyone on the line a really good understanding of Mass Challenge, how we operate, the expectations we have for the program, and the incredible ambition that everyone from IIA and Mass Challenge has put into this program to help you get your next financing, your next strategic partnership, and your next regulatory milestone. We are honored to be working with you. We're honored to be selected by IIA to be the operators of this program, and good luck in the application process. We're here for you.
Thank you, John, Kate. I see Lauren here as well from the team. So thank you very much for that overview. אנחנו רוצים עכשיו לעבור לחלק השני של הוובינר, שאנחנו בעצם נציג את הכל קורא. ראינו הרבה שאלות בנוגע לתנאי הסף ואיזו חברה בעצם יכולה להגיש, לאיזה חברות זה רלוונטי. אנחנו נעשה קצת סדר, אני מקווה שזה יבהיר כמה שאלות שהיו בצ'אט. לא הצגתי את עצמי, נעים להכיר, דניאל, אני מנהלת שותפויות אסטרטגיות לארצות הברית, חטיבה בינלאומית. טוב, אז כמה דגשים טכניים. אופן הגשת הבקשה. קודם כל, שימו לב שהגשת הבקשה מתבצעת דרך האזור האישי. אם עדיין אין לכם אזור אישי באתר של רשות החדשנות, אתם צריכים להירשם ולהקים את האזור האישי. ההמלצה שלנו, ויהיו דגשים בהמשך על ידי חטיבת התפעול, על ידי אירה, ההמלצה שלנו היא אם עדיין אין לכם אזור אישי, תפתחו את האזור האישי ותקימו אותו לפני שאתם מגישים את הבקשה עצמה. לפעמים זה לוקח זמן, ולא לחכות לרגע האחרון לעשות את זה. את מסמכי הבקשה עצמה אתם מורידים מהקול הקורא, שימו לב, בסוף הכל קורא, יש לינק, אתם מורידים את מסמכי הבקשה, זהו מסמך שניתן לערוך אותו, ממלאים את הבקשה, גם המלצה שלנו זה להוריד את המדריך להגשת בקשה כתובה, זה מדריך מטעם מאס צ'אלנג', יש פה כל מיני דגשים חשובים על איך למלא את הבקשה, שכדאי לשים לב למה שכתוב שם, גם המדריך להגשת הבקשה נמצא בקול הקורא, ממש בסוף הקול קורא, אתם תראו את כל המסמכים שרלוונטיים, נכנסים לאזור האישי, בוחרים בקשה להשקעה במופ, ואז תוכנית מאיצי פיילוטים טכנולוגיים בינלאומיים, אירה גם תראה את זה בהמשך, למלא את הטופס המקוון, ולצרף עליו את מסמך הבקשה, וגם קובץ פיץ' דק, שזה נדרש, ובעצם בקשות שיוגשו ללא הדק, לא ייבחנו. אז שימו לב לצרף את כל המסמכים האלה, זה נקודה מאוד חשובה. גם אני שמחה לעדכן שהערכנו את המועד להגשת בקשות בכשבוע, זאת אומרת שהכל קורא ייסגר ב-24 לאוגוסט, בשעה 12 בצהריים, אנחנו לא נקבל בקשות לאחר מכן, המטרה בעצם הייתה לאפשר זמן נוסף להגשת בקשות, ולעבוד על הבקשות שלכם. שימו לב למלא את מסמך הבקשה בהתאם לכל ההנחיות, הרשות נותנת אישור השתתפות בלבד, שימו לב שלא מדובר במענק, אלא באישור השתתפות להשתתף בתוכנית, ולכן סעיף התקציב הוא לא רלוונטי, יש למלא 0, וכפי שג'ון ציין קודם בהרחבה, וזה גם כתוב באופן ברור בקול קורא, החברה גם מתחייבת לממן את עלויות הביקורים, 3 ביקורים, תעקבו אחרי דף הקול הקורא, אנחנו מעדכנים אותו כל הזמן, ואם יש עדכונים או הערות רלוונטיות, אנחנו נפרסם את זה שם. כמובן שאין בקול הקורא התחייבות לאשר בקשה כלשהי, כל בקשה תיבחן בפני עצמה, וצריך בעצם לעקוב אחרי כל ההנחיות המפורטות במסלול ההטבה, בנהלים הרלוונטיים. דיברנו על זה. אוקיי, קצת על תנאי הסף. היו הרבה שאלות, אני מקווה שזה יבהיר. אם למישהו עדיין יש שאלה פרטנית, הוא מוזמן לפנות אלינו במייל, אנחנו נעביר את הפרטים בשקופית האחרונה, כדי לבדוק שאלות פרטניות. מבחינת תנאי הסף, אנחנו מתייחסים כרגע לחברות בתחום המכשור הרפואי, לרבות התחומים המפורטים בקול קורא, לאחר גיוס A, ושטרם השלימו סבב גיוס B, ובנוסף, שימו לב, אלו תנאים מצטברים, גייסה השקעות הון בסך $14 מיליון לפחות מאז הקמתה, אוקיי? לרבות סייף והלוואות אמירות. מבחינת תנאי סף של חברות בתחום הפארמה, גם יש התייחסות לתחומים בקול הקורא, אלו דוגמאות בלבד, לאחר סיבוב סיד ועד לאחר סיבוב סיריס A, אוקיי? וגייסה השקעות הון בסך $5 מיליון לכל הפחות. אז שימו לב שיש כאן תנאים מצטברים, וגם כאן הזכאות מבוססת על סך כל גיוסי ההון של החברה, ואנחנו לא מסתכלים רק על סבב הגיוס האחרון. אוקיי, אלו הדרישות שהן ביחס למדיקל דיווייס ולפארמה, יש דרישות נוספות שהן משותפות לשני המסלולים, גיוס ההון האחרון בוצע לאחר אוגוסט 2021, עבור חברות פארמה אנחנו מדברים על גיוס אחרון C או A, עבור חברות מכשור רפואי גיוס אחרון A. בנוסף, תאגיד שהתאגד ונרשם כדין בישראל, והתחייבות של לפחות מייסד אחד או חבר הנהלה בכיר להשתתף בתוכנית, לרבות בכל 3 המפגשים, במהלך 2027, שזה בוסטון בינואר, סן דייגו במרץ, ופילדלפיה ביוני, והתחייבות החברה לשאת בעלויות הביקורים האלו. קריטריונים להערכת הבקשה, יש לנו 2 קריטריונים, פוטנציאל התרומה של השתתפות המבקש בתוכנית לפעילות המחקר והפיתוח שלו, ומספר הפעמים שהמבקש קיבל הטבות לפעילות משלחת ואירועים ב5 שנים האחרונות, וזה בהתאם למסלול ההטבה. תינתן עדיפות למי שקיבל מספר הטבות נמוך יותר, כמובן שקריטריונים להערכת פוטנציאל התרומה בהתאם לקריטריונים של מאס צ'אלנג' ומה שג'ון הציג בהרחבה במצגת שלו. תהליך הבדיקה יעשה בצורה הבאה. בדיקה ראשונית לאחר הגשת הבקשה, אנחנו נבדוק את תנאי הסף על ידי בודקי הרשות. כלומר, אנחנו קודם נבדוק שהבקשה עומדת בתנאי הסף שהצגנו עכשיו. לאחר מכן, הבקשות שעמדו בתנאי הסף יועברו למאס צ'אלנג'. מאס צ'אלנג' יבצעו בעצם את הבדיקה הכוללת של הבקשות, לרבות עריכת רעיונות. זאת אומרת, יהיה שלב של בדיקת הבקשה הכתובה, ויש שלב נוסף של רעיונות שיתואמו מול החברה ויבוצעו על ידי מאס צ'אלנג'. ההחלטה הסופית תתקבל על ידי ועדת המחקר של רשות החדשנות, והתשובות הסופיות תתקבלו לאחר ועדת המחקר. אוקיי. שוב, אם יש לכם שאלות, לאחר חלק של אירה אנחנו נראה משאלות שאנחנו נתייחס אליהן, אנחנו קצת בעיכוב של זמנים, אבל תכתבו לנו בצ'אט, ואני אתן עכשיו לאירה לתת הנחיות ביחס לתפעול.
שלום לכולם, אני אתן ממש הצגה קצרה של מספר דגשים למה שהסבירה דניאל. קודם כל, שוב חשוב להדגיש, ההגשה תסתיים ב-24 באוגוסט בשעה 12 בדיוק, ולא יתקבלו שום בקשות באיחור. ההגשה פשוט תיסגר באזור האישי ולא תהיה יותר נגישה להגשה. לפני שאתם מגישים את הבקשה, חשוב מאוד לעיין במספר מסמכים שכולם נמצאים בדף המסלול הרלוונטי, מסלול מספר 1, נספח ה'. יש לעיין בתיאור הקול הקורא שמוצג בצורה מאוד מפורטת בדף הקול הקורא, ובנעלי המסלול הרלוונטיים, שבמקרה הזה יש לשים דגש על העיון בנספח ה'. אפשר להתקדם. כאן יש לנו דוגמה לנוהל שחשוב לעיין בו, נוהל להגשת בקשה לקבלת הטבות ואישור שלהן, שזה נוהל כללי של רשות החדשנות. בהתאם לנוהל הזה מוגשות כל הבקשות לרשות, וחשוב לפעול בהתאם לנוהל הזה. אפשר להתקדם ולא להתעכב ולהספיק את הדברים החשובים. כמו שדניאל הזכירה, חשוב לוודא שאתם עומדים בתנאי הסף למסלול, וספציפית להגשה לכל הקורא. אם אתם לא עומדים בתנאי הסף, אז אולי לא מומלץ להגיש. חשוב מאוד להתעכב על הנקודה הזאת. יש למלא את הבקשה בהתאם למידע שקיבלתם מקריאת הנהלים. יש למלא את כל הנתונים בכל השדות. חשוב מאוד לעשות זאת. אם הבקשות לא מלאות ולא שלמות, אנחנו לא נוכל לקבל ואנחנו נבקש תיקונים. חשוב מאוד גם לוודא כשאתם מגישים את הבקשות שאתם במעקב מדוקדק על תיבת המייל שלכם, של איש הקשר שהזנתם באזור האישי, ומומלץ לעקוב גם אחר האזור האישי באתר הרשות, כדי לראות בזמן אמת איך מתקדמת הבקשה שלכם ובאיזה שלב היא מטופלת כרגע. אפשר להתקדם. דניאל כבר הסבירה שחשוב מאוד להירשם אולי כבר עכשיו לאזור האישי של רשות החדשנות, להקים את היוזר שלכם, לרשום אולי אפילו מספר אנשי קשר, כדי שאם קורה מצב שמישהו מאנשי הקשר שהזנתם יצא לחופשה או לא זמין לראות את ההודעות שנשלחות אליכם, שמישהו אחר יוכל לראות את ההודעות ולהגיב בזמן לרשות החדשנות. כל התקשורת שלנו איתכם מתקיימת באמצעות דואר אלקטרוני. כמו שדניאל הסבירה, אתם נכנסים אחרי שנרשמתם לאזור האישי, דרך פעולות, דרך הגשת בקשה להשקעה במו"פ, ומגישים טופס בקשה מקוון. אפשר להתקדם. כשאתם נרשמים, אתם נרשמים כתאגיד, בוחרים את המסלול הרלוונטי שמוצג כאן, מקבלים את המסך הזה הראשוני שאתם רואים כאן, עם מספר המסמכים שעליכם להגיש. שימו לב, כל צרופה נוספת שאתם רוצים לצרף לטופס המקוון, באפשרותכם לעשות באמצעות צרופות נוספות אופציונליות, אין הגבלה למסמכים שאתם יכולים לצרף. אפשר להתקדם. עוד מספר דגשים. כמו שדניאל הזכירה, יש לכם טופס הגשה מיוחד, שהוא מסמך חובה, שאתם מורידים אותו מהדף של הקול הקורא. יש את הקובץ פיץ' דק שגם חובה לצרף, וכמובן תעודת התאגדות, חשוב מאוד לצרף גם אותה, אם זאת הגשתכם הראשונה לרשות החדשנות. אפשר להתקדם. כן. מה קורה אחרי הגשת הבקשה? בקשתכם מוגשת באזור האישי, אתם אמורים לקבל אישור אוטומטי עם מספר הבקשה, לפי זה אתם מבינים שהבקשה שלכם הוגשה בהצלחה, היא מגיעה למחלקת קליטה, שבודקת את הבקשה שלכם לעניין של תיקונים טכניים, האם הוגשו כל הטפסים הדרושים, האם כל הטפסים מולאו כנדרש. אם מחלקת קליטה רואה שנדרשים תיקונים, אתם תקבלו הודעה מפורטת עם רשימת התיקונים שנדרש לבצע, ולכן קריטי וחשוב לעקוב אחרי תיבת הדואר והאזור האישי, ולוודא שההודעות שאנחנו שולחים לכם לא מגיעות לתיבת ספאם. לאחר שבקשתכם נקלטת, היא מועברת לצוות המקצועי של רשות החדשנות. כפי שדניאל הסבירה, הם בוחנים האם אתם עומדים, הבקשות שלכם עומדות בתנאי הסף. מתבצעת בדיקה, כמו ששוב הסבירה דניאל, על ידי מאיץ צ'אלנג'. לאחר מכן מתקיים דיון בוועדות המחקר של הרשות, ולאחר שהתקבלה החלטה על ידי ועדת המחקר, אתם תקבלו תשובה שוב באמצעות דואר אלקטרוני לגבי התשובה, האם היא חיובית או שלילית. אפשר להתקדם. מה קורה לאחר אישור הוועדה? לאחר אישור הוועדה יש שלב של הפעלת התיק, בודקים עמידה בתנאים מקדמיים, אם נקבעו כאלה על ידי ועדת המחקר, מתקיים תהליך חתימת כתב התחייבות וקבלת אישור ההשתתפות בתוכנית, לאחר מכן כניסת האישור לתוקף ותחילת הביצוע. אפשר להתקדם. כאן יש את פרטי הקשר שלנו, אתם יכולים בכל עניין טכני לגבי אזור האישי לפנות למערך הלקוחות של הרשות, אתם יכולים לפנות אלינו למחלקת קליטה בעניין של נהלים, וכמובן לתיבת הדואר של חטיבת צמיחה, לכל שאלה בנוגע לכל הקורא. תודה רבה לכם על תשומת הלב ובהצלחה בהגשה.
תודה אירה. אוקיי. אני רואה טוב, באופן עקרוני אנחנו סיימנו עם הדוברים, אני רואה שיש לנו כמה שאלות. רוב השאלות שלכם ניסינו לענות תוך כדי הוובינר עצמו. אנחנו כן נתייחס לשתי שאלות. I'll switch to English. So we have a few questions that haven't been answered in our Q&A box. So if it's something that's relevant to Mass Challenge, John here can also answer. So first question, and feel free if anyone else has questions regarding the program, feel free to write as we go along. So first question, John said that there are 3 US trips and they are mandatory, but does it mean that we as a medical device company must attend Bio USA as well?
I can jump in with the question, with the answer here. The answer is no. As a medical device company, you will likely not be attending Bio USA. We staged this as we did because, as you may know, Philadelphia also has a really strong medical device ecosystem. And so we are sort of bifurcating the medical device and the pharma companies into sort of 2 cohorts within the ecosystem. So as you might imagine, LSI USA in Dana Point and San Diego will be attended by the medical device companies, whereas the pharma startups will be spending their time with us in the ecosystem. So both tracks will be engaging in different ways in each of the 3 US visits.
Okay, great. Thank you. So January 11 overlaps with JPM. I'm sure John is aware of that. John, do you want to say a few words on that, maybe?
We are aware, and we wanted to make sure that we were able to have a meaningful amount of time in January to kick off the program. So we sort of have spent a lot of time in our ecosystem here, and we know that there are a ton of ecosystem members in the Boston region, and a select few will go to JPM. And so certainly that was a consideration that we made when looking at the launch timeline. So that is something that you can consider as you lean into your application as well. So we have high levels of confidence in the quality and quantity of ecosystem engagement in the Boston ecosystem during that week.
Yeah, absolutely. I think John answered very accurately. Everything is very much on point with the program, so to bring you the best content. So I think it's a question of priority. We have one more question here. Let's see if it's relevant for everyone. Okay, I see Ty is answering. It's a more specific question. Okay, so I think we're on time. And there aren't any questions. If anyone else wants to ask something specific, you can send us an email. We'll be happy to answer. Thank you everyone that joined us. Thank you speakers. Thank you Mass Challenge. Thank you to Israel Innovation Authority team. We encourage you to apply, and we think it's a great program. And thank you everyone.